Is the U.S. being invaded? It's not clickbait. I want to offer a different take on not only a little bit of history, but on what's going on right now according to current events. We have recession hitting world's economies, and billionaires are exiting the stock market as we speak. I am Sot L. This is the Foundation Current Events, February 23rd, 2024. Let's jump into it and do the dance. You do your dance first. Go ahead, go to welcome-to-the-foundation.com. You can sign up for the email list right here. It's a luxurious dance. We're building it up. In the meantime, let's jump into this dance. Look, 7.2 million illegals entered the U.S. I don't even have to say the rest, right? Because I'm not on the political dance. I'm not on the right side or the left side, because I know that right wing, left wing, same bird. If one wing is messed up, the bird ain't flying, it's flopping, it's getting eaten by, Komodo dragons and things of that nature. 7.2 million illegals entered the U.S. This is the amount of it's greater than the amount of the population of 36 states. Nearly 7.3 million migrants have illegally crossed the southwest border, a number greater than the population of 36 individual states. And there's some states that aren't very populous, but 36 is more than half. That figure comes from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, which has already reported 961,537 border encounters in the current fiscal year, which runs from October through September. If the current pace of illegal immigration does not slow down, fiscal year 2024 will break last year's record of 2,475,669 southwest border encounters. And this is just encounters, a number that by itself exceeds the population of New Mexico, which is a border state. The total number of southwest land border encounters since 2021 is 7,298,486. Customs and Border Protection data shows. This is larger than the population of 36 states, including Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, Vermont, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Compared to the largest U.S. states, the 7.3 million number is about 18.7% of California's population. It's 32.3% of the population of Florida, 23.9% of the population of Texas, and 37.3% of the population of New York. It's more than half the size of Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Idaho. Okay, so, there's reports. I've seen it on video, that, there's nationals, people coming from China. You got to look this up. They're men. It's a lot of men. And, historically, China did have a, one-child policy. And historically, that one-child policy favored boys, and there's a lot of controversy with regards to that policy and what happened. And, I'm not going to get into that. You can do your research. But, I also came to the understanding that, China had a 5,000-year plan. And under the auspices of a 5,000-year plan, if within any of those centuries, I could see a policy instituted that would, over represent and, produce men for a certain period of time, that when they came of age, there would be a lot of them, and, things could happen with regards to that 5,000-year plan. That's all I'll say. AT&T cellular service restored after day-long outage. The cause is still unknown. The cause was they got hacked. And you know what I think? I think that with the stuff that's going on geopolitically, certain wars and whatnot, and maybe other countries and organizations, conglomerates such as NATO, involvement in the finances of said wars. I do believe that there are certain scrimmages happening, certain maybe tests or certain statements being made as to capabilities with regards to how it's going on. When you look at these nations as either adversaries or allies, and then what's going on between these allies and their adversaries, the concept, the argument is kind of compelling. You have to admit, cellular outage Thursday hit thousands of AT&T users in the U.S., disrupting calls and text messages as well as emergency services in major cities, including San Francisco. You just put some of this stuff together, y'all. About 58,000 incidents. If you can't call 911, if you can disrupt emergency services and reportings of emergencies, certain buildings, certain infrastructure, banks, I don't know. I know that they have certain alarms that call emergency services. Think about it. There's a lot of things that can be, extrapolated from this situation. But they fixed it. They don't know what happened. Associated Press. Recession has struck some of the world's top economies. The U.S. keeps defying expectations. For now, I added that. That was Sot. As some of the world's biggest economies stumble into recession, the United States keeps chugging along. Both Japan and the United Kingdom said Thursday their economies likely weakened during the final 3 months of 2023. For each, it will be the second straight quarter that's happened, which fits one lay definition of a recession. 2 quarters. You need 2 quarters, which essentially you got to see it backwards. It's 6 months, 3 quarters, 6 months. So they got to look at your previous numbers for the past 6 months and then say, oh, yeah, well, you're in recession now. Well, if you see the numbers in the past 6 months, then we've been in recession longer than that. Yet the United States, the economy motored ahead in the last year's fourth quarter for a 6th straight quarter of growth. I mean, I guess if debt, $1.3 trillion in credit card debt, if that's growth, it's blown past many predictions coming into last year that a recession seemed inevitable because of high interest rates meant to slow the economy and inflation. Listen, let me just tell you this. A lot of countries are dropping United States treasuries as reserves of their country's wealth reserves. There's implications. There's heavy implications with regards to that. Reuters.com, oil set for a weekly decline with Fed in no rush to cut rates. Oil prices fell today and we're on track for a weekly decline after the U.S. Central Bank indicated that interest rate cuts could be delayed by at least 2 months. At least 2 months. Watch out for that. Could the Federal Reserve rule out rate cuts in 24 altogether? Could they? I don't know. What do you think that would happen? What do you think that would happen? What do you think would happen to the market? That's what I meant to say, y'all. I apologize. Investors seemed convinced just months ago that the Federal Reserve would begin slashing interest rates aggressively during the first quarter of the year. Now, some are wondering if the central bank might not cut rates at all in 2024. It would be a luxurious dance for not very many people. Sticky consumer and wholesale inflation, shown in fresh data released last week, stoked fears that the Fed will keep rates higher for longer than previously expected. Stocks pulled back from record highs. Listen, most of you guys got to look at NVIDIA. How can one stock be responsible for all of the gains hot inflation data? Of course, 1 month. Quote, I don't think they're going to panic just because there's a little bit of rebound. I apologize for that ADD. I just wanted to get to some juice. I think they're going to keep rates steady. End quote. This is Tom Graff, Chief Investment Officer at Facet. Hopefully one of those worked. He expects the central bank to cut rates 2 to 4 times this year. The Federal Reserve said in January Nope, it didn't say anything. It held rates steady for the fourth straight meeting. Chair Jerome Powell, Jerry Jerome, said, I'm going to stop. Said while inflation has come down considerably, be professional. The central bank wants to see more signs of disinflation before beginning to ease rates. This is bad for people who want to buy houses. This is bad for people who have credit card debt, $1.3 trillion in credit card debt. What do you think those interest rates payments favor? China's economic troubles are hurting global banks. HSBC posted a big drop in quarterly profit Wednesday after taking $3 billion in losses, man, on its stake in China's Bank of Communications, and another charge related to exposure to the country's troubled real estate industry. Sound familiar? The Asia-focused lender reported an 80% drop in pre-tax profit in the last 3 months of 2023 compared to the same period in 2022. HSBC, and this is Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Company or Corporation, or however. HSBC attributed the decline to a pair of charges that it took. Of the total, $3 billion was related to BOCOM, one of China's biggest banks, while $2 billion was from selling its retail banking business in France. HSBC said the $3 billion impairment was calculated after the December evaluation, which included an estimate of future cash flows at BOCOM. Separately, HSBC made $3.4 billion in provisions to cover expected credit losses and other charges related to its exposure to the commercial real estate sector in mainland China. Quote, backing out of all of the mess, it looks like the performance was a little worse than expected, with higher operating costs more than offsetting slightly better impairments. End quote. This is Matt Britzman, equity analyst at Hargreaves Lansdowne. Mainland China remains a question mark. While loan loss charges were better than expected, the Chinese commercial real estate sector continues to be weak. End quote. We're not seeing that over here. We should, I think, and what am I? I'm not a finance guy. I don't know anything. But to me, it seems like, China is just, they're like, we're not going to revise numbers. We're not going to make it look like it is better than anything it is. Let's just take it and we'll get over this faster. We'll get through it faster. CNBC, Warner Brothers Discovery shares dropped 12% as company misses estimates, warns of 2024 cash flow headwinds. This is a large company, y'all. Streaming service Max ended 2023 profitable for the first time, and the company expects it to be profitable again in 2024. Still, the company said there will be free cash flow headwinds in 2024 as content spend increases. It declined to offer free cash flow guidance for the year. That's not a good thing because they're talking to their investors, and that's likely why the value of their shares dropped. This is a trend. It's not just Warner Brothers. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon sells about 150 million of his shares, according to an SEC filing. So this is past tense, which means, I think they do FCC filings every quarter. So 150 million shares in his bank. I look at this as a sign the smart money is getting out. They're getting out of the banks. Moving forward, Jeff Bezos unloads around $2.4 billion in his own company, Amazon stock, bringing recent sales to 50 million shares. Jeff Bezos unloaded more than 14 million shares of Amazon stock in recent days, according to a securities filing. The latest disclosure brings the total sold in the past month to 50 million shares. So if he got $2.4 billion for 14 million shares, you can just like a little less than triple that. As far as, maybe a little more than triple that, I'm sorry. As far as, what he received overall. So that's about almost $10 billion, y'all. It sounds like these people are getting out. Founder and executive chairman Jeff Bezos unloaded more than 14 million shares. The sales began late last week and continued through Tuesday, according to a securities filing. The sales were executed under a prearranged trading plan that Bezos adopted in November. Of course, you can see what was happening. That was the holiday season. We saw what was going on during the holiday season. So, it looks to me like, these guys are getting out. They're absolutely getting out. I wouldn't buy the dip. Personally, I don't really participate in the stock market unless I'm trading, which means, that's not buy and hold, buy it low, sell it high kind of dance. So, welcome to thefoundation.com. Sign up for the email list, y'all. We appreciate you. We have the private side of Welcome to the Foundation, your private membership area, your own account. If you would like a private invitation, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. We are still offering our second most affordable trustee training ever offered here on the foundation. It's extensive, it's cogent, it's precise, and it's available now. This price is going to increase, just so you know. But we would love to, be a part of your education, your private education. If you're looking to start a business, we have a full course on how to start a business. This can't be right. I changed that. Hold on. Let me refresh this. I swear I remember to change this. Yep. $99.99. Remember, I told you I was going to change this. And I would say that's even still a deal. So, if you're looking to start a business, step by step, we go through everything in this course. Automatically, you will receive your private account on the private side, and you will access your course. It's a full course within that account. Link in the description to sign up for trustee training. Link in the description to sign up for this course on how to start a business as well. We have the Foundation magazine. We are currently shipping volume 2 of cybersecurity. We got to get secure, y'all. These devices are ubiquitous. How many devices do you have connected to your network right now, including wireless? We have a lot of vulnerabilities, and it's just going to get worse and worse. You see, they took down the whole entire AT&T network. What do you think they can do with your home network? We're working on volume 3. Volume 2 is being shipped. We have a digital edition. We have a print edition. You make that decision. Appreciate you checking out the show, though. Or that's not the show. I'm sorry. This is current events. I'm used to saying the show. But, I would like to know what y'all think in the comments with regards to what's going on, per usual. But I am Sot L, Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L. This is the Foundation Current Events. I appreciate you checking out the current events. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It's very important. And I will catch y'all next week on Current Events. Have a great weekend, y'all. Peace.